Africa's startup ecosystem has rapidly become a vibrant hub of innovation powered by a new generation of entrepreneurs solving critical challenges across various sectors like fintech, agriculture, healthcare, and renewable energy. With better access to tech and a growing pool of investment, these startups are not only addressing local needs but are also positioning themselves for global impact. However, scaling these innovations beyond the continent presents unique challenges. This is where platforms like Moonshot by Techies come into play, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss strategies for building world-class ventures and ensuring Africa's contribution to the global tech landscape.
The second annual Moonshot by Techies conference kicks off with a mix of entrepreneurs, investors, regulators, and tech enthusiasts. With the theme Building for the World, the conference aims to explore how African startups are tackling the complexities of global expansion.
We hope that this is a productive.
The CEO of Big Cabal Media sets the tone for the day by highlighting the importance of collaboration and innovation in driving Africa's tech ecosystem forward.
The world is moving, technology is evolving, and if we're not going to be left behind, if we're going to build companies that have the growth rates and that have the escape velocity, that have total addressable markets that are large enough for viable and VC-pleasing exits, we have to go further afield. While the continent has been the foundation of our innovation and of our entrepreneurial spirit, the challenges that we face here have made it clear that we must truly build for the world. Our mindset has to be totally global. So when we think globally, we can transcend the limitations of our local markets. We can access larger markets. We can have more consistent infrastructure. We can find exits at global multiples. But with global ambition come global challenges. How do we scale African innovation in an increasingly competitive world? How do we equip our entrepreneurs and teams with the skills, the talent, the resilience needed to thrive on the global stage over the next decade and beyond on
the spotlight then shifts to a fireside chat with the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani. The conversation centers around how the minister's digital transformation agenda is linked to economic growth, as well as his intentions with Nigeria's AI strategy.
One thing that we've been struggling with in terms of being able to raise the level of GDP is productivity. Correct. And again, if you have economics background, you probably know that there's absolutely no way you can drive productivity without technology. If you're going to be visionary about it, there's absolutely no world where you focus on wicked problems. The reality is that for Africa, historically, we've battled with what we refer to in economics as wicked problems. These are problems that the solution to them and the requirement for solving them, they're constantly evolving. So when we talk about AI, you need to understand the entire ecosystem of artificial intelligence to truly say whether Nigeria should participate or not. Because AI is not going to be where we need it to be if certain part of the world's context is not digitized. If everything we know about Africa is not digitized, AI is not going to be where it needs to be. And you can do digitization of data without doing the actual processing of it, without the GPU. Africa, Nigeria can come up with some of the smartest new ways of digitizing data so that we can actually get paid for doing that part of the work. And we can own a part of the AI ecosystem.
After the chat, the public policy manager for Anglophone West Africa at Meta sparks a conversation around open and responsible innovation.
In order to achieve that objective of increasing development, enhancing development, you have to do this immersive and innovative technology in an open way. And what do I mean by that? That means that you don't have just a select few that are developing technology and then other people do not have access to it. And that's why we are very big proponents of open source technology. This means that developers can access the technologies that we build. For instance, we have a large language model called Llama, and we're now on the 3.2 iteration of it. people have access to be able to build on top of that. Why is that important? We know that it takes significant resources, financially, human capital, to be able to develop these sorts of technologies, and we don't always have the access to be able to do that on our own on the continent. But those that have access should be able to do it in such a way that we can then utilize that and build on top of it to create the solutions that we need. The only way that's possible is by having open source and open access.
African data initiatives.
Attention later turns to a panel session on the battle for representation and the significance of Africa controlling its own data to shape global AI platforms.
I think where we are doing things right is in terms of capturing information around like the fintech space. So, you know, our financial history and having a good understanding of where what is at what time and in real time. Having said that, we need to be very secure with the data, and we need to be able to have or allow every single user to be in control of that data.
If there's any time where our continent or Africa is better positioned to be in cutting-edge learning at the same level as anyone anywhere in the world, is this time. But the second layer is that you need the right level of encouragement and motivation to learn.
As day one of the event wraps up, the discussions on digital transformation, AI and innovation leave attendees with meaningful perspectives into the future of Africa's tech ecosystem, especially as the continent continues to position itself as a global tech leader.